As the old saying goes, variety is the spice of life. It also has a lot to do with motivation. Joining us for this week's Smith Business Close-Up is Jordan Etkin, a PhD candidate at the Robert H. Smith School of Business. Jordan, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
So just what is the connection between variety and motivation?
Well, it's an interesting question, and one that I am working on for my dissertation research here at the Smith School. It's more complicated than people would initially think. So the general intuition would be that the more variety, the better, right? You sort of, as a consumer, you go through your environment and you see lots of different options. You want to have a granola bar, you can have, there are 50 different choices, different things that you can choose from. So certainly retailers seem to think that the more variety they can give consumers, the better. However, in my research, I find that variety can be good for consumers, but only in certain situations. And in particular, when you're using products to help you pursue a goal that you may have, for example, having granola bars to help you pursue a goal to be healthy, these types of having variety among your products helps you when you feel like you're very far from the goal. However, as you move closer to goal attainment, you actually don't want variety. You want less and less variety among your set of products that you consume to help you really stay motivated to pursue that goal.
So I know you used to work as a personal trainer. Is that where your interest in this came from?
Yes. So in my time between graduating from undergrad and entering grad school, I had a little stint as a personal trainer and found myself spending a lot of time thinking about how much variety to give my clients in their workout programs. So, before you meet with a given client, you think about their goals, their strengths and weaknesses, and then you design a program. And so I had to think a lot about, how many different exercises to incorporate in the hour session that we had, and then also how much variety to include week to week to week across their different sessions.
Was it true in that case that the closer someone got to an objective or a goal, the less variety was needed?
Yes, so I found, especially when you're working with beginners, to keep them sort of interested in the goal and coming back to you, for repeated sessions, I found it to be a better idea to mix up their program. So we try a bunch of different things, wouldn't do a lot of repetitions of any one exercise, and really keep it sort of very stimulating. Whereas my clients that were working, still towards their fitness goals but had moved farther along, they had more muscle mass, whatever their goal was. For them, we tended to repeat the same exercises a greater number of times, and there was more continuity week to week.
Tell me about the research. People think academic research is, just sitting in a lab somewhere. How did you test this?
Okay, well, I got out of the lab, which is always a good idea when you're doing this type of academic research, and went to, for a number of these studies, went to the fitness center at the University of Maryland, and surveyed people coming in and out of the gym and that were actively engaged in pursuing their fitness goals, and showed them different varieties of fitness supplements, of protein bars or different types of protein supplements, and asked them to think about using those supplements to help them pursue their fitness goal, and then measured their motivation in terms of how committed they felt, how much energy they wanted to devote to their fitness goal, those types of things. And found this predicted pattern that I discussed earlier, where when people felt that they had yet to make a lot of progress towards their goal, either because they personally just felt like they hadn't come that far, or because they had yet to work out that day, the more variety I showed them, the more sort of pumped up they felt to really go after their goal. However, people that did feel they'd made a lot of progress or had already worked out that day, they didn't want as much variety. They were really motivated when I gave them a very narrow set protein bars that only differed in flavor, and even actually when I showed them identical protein bars, so the same set of 3 chocolate protein bars, that really got them pumped up to work out.
Interesting stuff. Jordan Etkin joining us from the Robert H. Smith School of Business. Thank you very much for your time.